I have the honor of presenting the next honoree. And the next honoree is also a sterling example of the caliber of Tech Knights that we have in our class of 1978. Without a doubt, he reflects the values and spirit of our great school, Brooklyn Tech. And without a doubt, he has made a lasting impact in our society. I've known this gentleman since junior high school 111. Now, I'm not going to claim that we were best friends before he became Judge Diaz, but I can truly say, as Esther, Wanda, and Yvette, where are you, can attest, that even back in junior high school 111, Albert stood out as a compassionate, thoughtful, and intelligent young man. And I suspect that these qualities have served him well throughout his successful career, which includes serving as a proud U.S. Marine for 24 years, a very successful lawyer, and today is the first Hispanic judge to serve in the state of North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly my honor to present the class of 1978 Lifetime Achievement Award to Judge Albert Diaz. Please come forward. Thank you so much. Why don't you come on this side, we can get a photo. Right there. I want to shake your hand and make sure we get a photo of that. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh gosh, well, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm glad, actually, that Estilo and Wanda and I'm glad that Estilo and Wanda and the others in my junior high school class were not at my Senate confirmation hearing, because I think it might not have gone well, because they probably knew some things about me that were best left unsaid. So let me begin by thanking again, because really these things don't happen by accident. I want to thank Lee and the organizing committee for putting this together. This is a wonderful event, and they deserve another round of applause. My wife couldn't be here tonight, and I told Lee a couple of days ago that she had to stay behind to take care of a beloved member of our family. That would be our 17-year-old Maltese. He has lived a long and rich life, but he's on in years and things happen, and she couldn't come. But my date tonight is my daughter, Gabriela Diaz, who's back there. She is keeping the Diaz name bold in New York. She's living here in Brooklyn and is a assistant buyer at Macy's, and we couldn't be prouder of her. So, I have an older daughter, Christina. She too couldn't be here today, but she's got an even better excuse. She gave birth 2 months ago to my first grandson, so we are getting old. You know, 40 years, it really is hard to believe. In 1978, we were still talking about Vietnam. We're still dealing with it in Vietnam. You'll remember that in 1977, there was a blackout in New York, and things did not go well for New York. It was a troubled time. New York was still struggling with the financial difficulties. You remember President Ford telling everybody in New York City to drop dead in 1975. It really was a very troubled and uncertain time. But there was one thing that was very certain about that time for us who graduated from this wonderful institution, is that we were confident citizens of this world. We had been well prepared to take on the challenges that lay ahead of us. For me, that was joining the Marine Corps after graduating from high school. And real joys of coming back here is I got to meet a number of my fellow veterans who served in the military. I want you all to raise your hands because we need to congratulate you and thank you for your service. All the folks who served in the military. You know, I grew up, how many of y'all grew up in Williamsburg? Williamsburg in the house? All right. Well, if you know that to say that my old neighborhood has undergone a transformation would be an understatement. You know, if I had been prescient and had a few bucks in my pocket and bought some property, I'd probably myself in the Caribbean here with you tonight. I'm glad to be here. I was the first in my family to graduate from high school to go on to college and beyond. But it was here at this place at Tech that really challenged me and gave me the confidence to believe that I could be whatever it is that I wanted to be in my life. You know, I spent some time today for the first time in that building. It hasn't changed much. I've seen federal prisons that look better, to be frank. Well, you know, I tell it like it is. I'm sorry. And you know, the place is so big and so huge. We could easily fit RPS, you know, 274 and junior high school 111 in the place with no problem at all. Like many of you, I spent the first few weeks, if not the first few months, trying to find which end is up, where the classrooms were, where the cafeteria was, and after eating the abundant, luxurious cafeteria food, running to the bathrooms and trying to find where the bathrooms were. And of course, for many of us, getting there was quite the odyssey, right? We would take a bus or two, multiple trains, sometimes an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there. It was quite the challenge, but it was well worth the effort because it was at that place that we were challenged, rigorously challenged by a faculty that really cared about us and wanted us to make a difference in the world, and by classmates who were determined to make a difference in the world and knew that they wanted to make a better place for all in the world. You know, today I sit as a judge on a federal circuit court. We're one of 13 courts that sit right below the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court hears about 65 to 70 cases a year. Our court hears about 5,000 plus. The other circuits do as well. That's why we don't get paid enough, I can tell you right now. And we're the last stop for the vast majority of cases that come before in federal court. Over the last 8 years, my court has been at the forefront of deciding some of the most momentous issues in our nation's history. We decided the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act under President Obama. We decided whether or not constitutional bans on gay marriage were lawful. We decided the rights of transgender Americans to serve in the military. Decided issues relating to racial and political gerrymandering in congressional and state districts. And just a couple of months ago, the court decided that President Trump's travel ban was unconstitutional. That case, and I don't say that to get a cheer, we'll decide, the Supreme Court's going to decide that case next week, and we'll decide, and we'll figure out who's right. But the point of that is, these are cases that matter to people, and I'm really proud and humbled to be a part of that court. But it was this place that gave me the cornerstone, the foundation, if you will, the critical thinking skills, the ability to communicate clearly and concisely, to write with efficiency. It was this place that set that in motion. And so whatever success I've enjoyed, it's because of this place, as I know you all feel the same way. So I'm really thrilled to be back here, and I will plan to be back in 5 years. The only thing I ask is that you not use my picture again, okay? Thank you very much. Go Engineers.
Congratulations. Okay.